The world is waiting for the moment of the opening of the Grand Egyptian Museum, which is one of the largest international museums, as it will contain more than 50,000 artifacts other than the pieces in stores, in addition to displaying King Tutankhamun's collection for the first time in full to the public, which exceeds 5,000 artifacts. That is why we publish a group of pictures of the museum that show the beauty of the great cultural edifice at night. The Grand Egyptian Museum was designed to display the world's largest integrated collection of ancient Egyptian antiquities, and the museum includes thousands of unique artifacts, dating back thousands of years, in its various halls. The museum reflects the great diversity of Egyptian history and culture, to provide an enjoyable experience for visitors, characterized by creativity and knowledge, by combining culture and entertainment, advanced learning methods, and many other services, which enable visitors to learn about Egypt's ancient past and participate in its promising future. The Grand Egyptian Museum is located just 2 kilometers from the Giza pyramids, on an area of more than 500,000 square meters, and displays the largest collection of Egyptian antiquities in the world, which makes it a gateway to Egypt's past, present and future. The Grand Egyptian Museum also displays the ancient Egyptian civilization, starting with the Hanging Obelisk Square, which is the first of its kind in the world and is the first artifact that receives visitors and directs them to the main hall known as the Grand Hall, where they are welcomed by the statue of King Ramses II, which weighs more than 80 tons, and from this place, visitors begin their journey to explore the ancient Egyptian history, through thousands of unique artifacts. Museum visitors will also see the full collection of King Tutankhamun's antiquities and treasures, in one place for the first time since the discovery of his famous tomb. It also includes a children's museum, a space for temporary exhibitions, a library, and an educational center, in addition to a center for the restoration of antiquities, equipped with the latest scientific technologies. The museum also includes offices, a large theater, a conference hall, a business area, and fine restaurants. As for the external part of the museum, it will include a group of gardens, including the sculpture garden, the palm garden, and the terraced garden with a unique design. The story of the Hanging Obelisk, which is the first hanging obelisk in the world. In the Grand Egyptian Museum, pictures of the seal cartouche of King Ramses II, which appears for the first time in 3,500 years. The obelisk was brought from the San al-Hajar area in several parts, and he saw that at the bottom of the body of the obelisk was a cartouche of King Ramses II, and he began to think and hold discussion meetings with the archaeologists and scholars of the museum, where he suggested that cartouche appear, and indeed he kept designing so that visitors could see the cartouche, which remained inside the obelisk for 3,500 years, and the work took effect in a sophisticated scientific way, until it became the first obelisk suspended in the world, in a very dazzling panorama. Visitors are waiting for the moment the museum opens for the first time in front of them, and the obelisk has been assembled and restored to become a single unit through the restorers of the Grand Museum, in cooperation with the Supreme Council of Antiquities, so that the obelisk is raised on 4 columns with the name of Egypt engraved on it. In all languages of the world welcome visitors. Among the possessions of King Tutankhamun, a box was found, which is one of the unique artifacts that were found inside the tomb of King Tutankhamun. Collectibles inside, including 2 wands. The name of Amenhotep IV, before he changed his name to Akhenaten, was also placed on the cartouches. The most prominent of what was discovered is the painting of Amenhotep IV, Akhenaten, in the form of the Sphinx, which dates back to the era of the 18th dynasty, in the Tel El Amarna region, and it is displayed in the Kessner Museum in Hanover. King Akhenaten, in the form of the body of a crouching lion and a human face, presents offerings to the deity Aten, represented in the disk of the sun, from which hands emerge in the form of human hands to provide energy and life from the deity of the sun, the Etonian disk to the earth in general, and in front of him is a table on which are some papyrus flowers and plants and lotuses. We also see the cartouche of King Merneptah, son of King Ramses II, on a stone slab as he receives the insignia of power and authority from one of the deities. Perhaps the idol is Ptah or Atum, unspecified, or perhaps King Ramses II, as he appears covering the head of the Nemes, which represents the receipt of the scepter of power. We also see the cartouche of King Seti I on a stone slab as he presents the Canaanite captives and spoils to the Theban trinity of Amun, Mut and Khonsu after his first war campaign against Asia, Karnak Temple. Among the distinctive cartouches, which was discovered on a part of the hand of a giant statue of King Amenhotep III, on which was written the personal name Amunhotep Rili Wasit, meaning, Amun satisfied, ruler of Thebes, in the Karnak Temple complex, Luxor,